Hello, hello. Welcome to Top Shelf Backpacking. Today I'm going to show you how I train for my multi-night longer backpacking trips. Please don't take anything that I'm about to tell you as medical advice. Do what works for you. You may want to consult a physical therapist or a doctor before beginning any kind of training regimen. I'm going to tell you what I have done for my last 4 longer section hikes of the PCT and what worked and what didn't work for me. So starting off, I did not include any kind of weight training into my training per se. There were times where I was going to the gym and lifting. I would focus a bit more on lateral movement and lower body exercises. Things like lunges, squats, even some deadlifts in there just to get the glutes activated. Did a lot of work on stair steppers, incline treadmills, that kind of thing. But I found what worked best for me was doing stuff kind of more readily available and stuff around the house. So first thing I always wanted to do is when training, I always wanted to have footwear similar to what I would be using on trail, if not the very same shoes I'd be taking out with me. I found that going on what I called bag walks was the easiest way for me to easily condition. Obviously, there is no replacement for hikes, getting out on actual trails, so the more of that you can do leading up to any kind of longer distance, multi-night kind of deal, the better off you're likely to be. But a lot of times, those are a bit of a drive. So what I would tend to do is I would put together a pack like this. So this guy here is an outdoor products bag I got from probably Walmart years and years ago. I've had it for probably close to 15 years now, and it has lived a good life. It's pretty beat up, torn up, has parts of the webbing cut off. But what I liked about it is it had a hip belt. It was fairly small and compact. I used to use this for day hikes, but still has enough pockets for me to take the essentials with me. So typically what I would do, didn't do it as much on the last hike, and that's why I was a little more beat up, but for the hikes previous, I would try to ramp up to 5 miles a day, sometimes twice a day, and then doing longer trips, longer walks on the weekends. So I'd start off with going out for about 2 miles, do that for about a week, make it up to 3 miles for a couple days a week after that, and then add as I saw fit. I started off with about 20 pounds in this bag here, and to do that initially, I started with 2 10-pound sandbags that I picked up online and then just went down and got some playground sand. But eventually, I picked up one of these guys, which is a 30-pound plate. Got this on Amazon, and I wrapped this in a little blanket there just to kind of help hold it in place and keep it from completely destroying the bag it was in. And then if I wanted to add more weight than that, I could add sandbags, 10 pounds back in there. And really what my goal was to have at least 50% more on my back than I planned on having on trail. So if I planned on taking about a 30-pound pack, I would shoot for getting up to about 45 pounds in this bad boy during my training hikes. I would start off around 20 as I started building up the miles, and then I would slowly add weight, 5 to 10 pounds at a time. You can use kettlebells, you can use bottles of water, gallons of water, things like that. It doesn't have to be fancy, but that is how I would get ready for my hikes. My goal would always be to have at least 80% of the mileage on concrete. Before going out on trail, I found that the trail was a little easier on my feet, but there was just no replacement as far as conditioning my feet as getting those miles. So I would shoot for around 100 miles a month for the first couple of months, and as I got closer, I would try to get closer to like 150 miles per month, which if you break it up is a few miles a day. And again, I'd shoot for some longer mileage on the weekends just to really get myself ready. Now that I've been back from my 100-mile trek that I pulled off in 5 days, part of a reward for doing it in 5 days was to pick up the following to make this even easier. So once I returned from my 100-mile section hike, I picked up the Wild Gym. This is kind of a rucking style bag that is designed specifically for carrying weight. It does have some nice little pockets, so I can take jackets, little pieces of gear, keychain, things like that with me. But it is made to hold an actual weight plate. So currently in here, I have a 20-pound. As I get conditioned to this, I will swap to the 30 and eventually hopefully make it up to the 30 and the 20 in here together. This guy is rated, I want to say like 100 pounds. It is not cheap, it cost me a few $100s to get, but it is fairly durable, at least feeling. I've probably got 20 miles or so on it so far. And it has a running style shoulder harness, which has nice padding. It's comfortable for me. It does have a removable hip belt. So as I add weight or start doing more lateral movements, actual hiking with it, I would probably put that on there. But nice spot for a water bottle. Cell phone fits in here perfectly. And I can throw my little AirPod case in here. Nice padding. Thick material, fairly durable again. But don't think you have to go out and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, because the first 350 miles worth of longer distance stuff I trained with, I did with that probably $30 or $40 outdoor products bag that I just added sandbags to get that weight slowly ramped up to where I was comfortable that I would last out there on trail. So again, work your way up to it. Don't start off with crazy high miles, and don't think you have to drop a bunch of money. You can take whatever backpack you're using and throw weight in it. That's probably the best way to know for sure the shoulder straps, the hip belt, everything's going to be feeling like you want. But if you're doing miles after miles, best to make that probably expensive backpack last. So I recommend getting something a little smaller, less expensive, just something to train with. So you can get up to, like I said, I do 80% worth of miles, and I try to shoot for at least 50% more weight, ideally double, just to make sure my shoulders are feeling good while I'm out there on trail. For more information on all the items you see on this channel, visit topshelfbackpacking.com. And until I see you again, cheers.